Hi folks, thought I'd stop on the side of the road and show you what I got at the Z-Bash. Well, not everything's from the Z-Bash, quite a bit is. Had a great time. We all enjoyed the hospitality stand and the food and meeting a lot of people, and thank you for the kind words that a lot of you said to me. Now, this is the first place I found the weather wasn't 117 degrees, but I could show you what all I picked up at the Z-Bash. No, that's a Houston. First off, I want to show you something that one of my viewers thought I could use and he had no need for anymore. Happens to be a Bridgeport right angle head. Going to give it a paint job when I get back. Fix it up real nice and it'll match the rest of the Bridgeport that we're working on, by the way. It's almost all there. Just need a screw for that side there. Got the adapter still in it. I don't know if you can see in there or not. I appreciate that, Frank. Frank from outside of Albuquerque contacted me about this, so it's going to come in handy. Show you guys how to use it when we get time. I also had a Bridgeport adapter for a I forgot what size it was. It says 1-2. So what you can taper for, it's a J2 taper. That wasn't a 1-2, it's a J2. Put a chuck on that. Thank you once again, Frank. I'll put it to good use. Well, I hope the wind noise isn't too bad. I'm in a nice little park outside of Junction, Texas. Old Ventana's been doing pretty good. So far, we've got about 2,500 miles on it this trip. All the way to LA and back. Almost back. Got about 400 miles to go tomorrow. And I'll be back at the shop. One thing that I took out there with me was I didn't take a vehicle. I didn't pull a rock tube behind me. Clark and Keith stayed in the camper with me while we were there, and they were kind enough to give me a ride to the Z-Bash, so I just left the vehicles at home. Now this is a, what is it, a 3D? It's a Monarch. I already have one, so if anybody needs one, $175 plus shipping. It's a 2J collet. Now 2J collets go up bigger than 5C, so that's a good one. Anyway, if anybody wants that, that's what it is. Now while I was out there, one of the vendors there said, "My wife has sent you a present." And I thought, well boy, what could it be? And it turns out she sent me a couple of tool holders for Bob. So it's actually a present for Bob. And I really appreciate it. Now, I have a terrible memory on names. Really bad. So I dug through and I found what she'd wrapped it up on, and I found her name. And I would like to thank Sherry Willis for these two kind gifts for Bob. Now, forgot the guy's name. That's how bad my memory's getting. So he shall be Mr. Sherry Willis. Thanks, guys. Bob will like these. And what else did I get? Oh, speaking of bad memories, I bought this from a guy there. Can't remember his name, and I don't remember exactly what material this was. And I threw the box that came with it with the name written on away. So anybody remembers what this was? He had quite a few pieces at the Z-Bash to sell, and I got about 4 or 5 of them. Some kind, I don't remember what it was. What else we got? Oh, I found a couple of trolleys. This is a smaller one. Looks like it'll do 1,000 pounds. And then I found a larger one there. What does it say? 2,000 pounds. These are the kind of things you find at these swap meets and events. People bring stuff and you can pick them up at a decent price. So I got a use for these. Another thing I got there was this little item. Stan had sent me a message asking me if I had one of these for the Monarch 10E, and I said no. This is a clamshell indicator. Clamps onto the apron or the saddle, and you can adjust it, and it hits this part right here for the indicator. It seems to work really nice. It's old, but so is everything else anymore. Make good use of this. Monarch's not going to get a DRO on it. I'm old school. I can make do without. What else we got found over here? Okay. Stan also had these, and I had never seen one of these. This is a Bijur Lubricating Corporation, and it's a type LHH. And what it is a full-fledged oiler. It's got some mounting screws on the bottom there where you can mount it. This is an output. You put a threaded tube on the end of that, and you can run it to anywhere you want. You fill it up full of oil or whey oil or whatever in that, and then this little plunger you pick up and it will eject oil out of this. Got a sight glass to see when you're empty. Really neat. He had 4 of them. I got them all. This one's a little different design. This one is milled in this shape. It's all one piece. I thought it was just added, but it's not. So you can mount this onto the side of something very easily, and it does the same function. Then I got a couple more of those. Now what the heck can you do with it? This is an LMH. The very first thing that came to my mind was, you know how on a lathe the crossfeed nut usually has a screw that you unscrew and put oil down and always gets chips in there and everything? I'm going to put a drip lubricator on that thing and use this, mount this somewhere on the saddle to oil that nut. That ought to work really nice. And then I got some others to figure out what to do with, but I'll do it. This is another one of the things that I picked up. Guy gave me this to try out. I didn't get one of the wrenches, but this is the calibration nut for a Martin precision tool. It says it's torqued at 100 foot-pounds for calibration of your wrenches. I'll play with that some more. That's about all I got, except for 2 nice things. I've always wanted another couple old tools. You got to blow the foam going away. This is a Starrett 199 master level. 1 division equals 0.0005 inches per foot. Looks to be in nice shape. I have 2 already. But when you have something like the Beast, it's really nice to have a bunch of these that you can put down the long way bed, so you can not have to move them around and you can see what's going on. This looks really nice too. I bought this from Tom Lipton. It's in nice shape. Tom had all kinds of stuff there. Most of the stuff I have, and it's really hard to find things I absolutely need, but sometimes it's a deal. I think I gave $300 for this. Then one last thing. It's a Michichoyo 4-gauge set. And by the time I found this, I'd already spent all my money. But man was very nice and let me go ahead and PayPal him. And of course, it's got the disintegrating foam rubber, so we can clean that up, clean the box up. It's almost a complete set. Well, that was rude. It's getting windy out here, but it feels good. Now this gauge fits on all 3 handles, and they go down from different sizes. This one says it goes from 2" to 4". There's a 1.4 to 2.5 inch, and then this one is the 0.7 to 1.4. I tested them all out and they all work. This one has little roller wheels here, and then that's the plunger assembly. You go and you put these over here, and these correspond to what range you want to get to. So this one goes up to 2.6, and then this 2.8, then there's a 3.0, and this goes all the way up to 4. But then this little item here will screw on to here and extend that on out 2 inches. So in actuality, each one of these can go up to 2 inches longer than what it says right there. We'll get it home, get it all cleaned up and oiled up, and that's something I've been looking for a long time, but they're really expensive. And I finally found one in good shape, and glad to find it. Well, that's about all the loot I could drag home. Wasn't because I couldn't get it on the bus. Didn't have enough money to buy it. There was all kinds of neat gadgets. I mean, most of it I don't need, but some of it, like what I got, is going to be really nice to have. Now, thank you, Stan, for hosting that event. That, after sitting back and watching what was going on, I can only imagine what it took to put that thing together. I mean, he had tents strung up out there, big, white tents and chairs and tables for everybody to eat at. Had an ice truck. They even drug a food trailer down the hill and set it up by the shop and fed everybody lunch, breakfast, and dinner for 3 days, maybe 4 days. Now, I know that wasn't cheap, and I know that was a lot of work. So once again, thank you, Phil, and all the other people that helped out. Now, I went around filming a little bit of stuff, not too much, because we were there to have fun. So I just kind of give you guys an idea of what kind of stuff you could have bought there. I took this on Saturday morning, I believe, or maybe Friday night. A lot of stuff is already gone, but there was still quite a few things there. I took a gear class. Learned a lot of things that I didn't know about gears and how easy it could be to figure these things out. And a lot of that is because of the efforts of Andrew Prestige from Evolent Designs. They design gears and make gears and things like that, and they've got a website where you can calculate your blanks, and I mean, it's really nice. A lot of the math is taken out of it completely if you're needing to do something like that. We calculated a gear. He had a blank already made up for it, and we put it on, and somehow 6 of us got together and handled the machine and made it work out all right. I don't know how. We had Kind of had 3 mishaps, but it turned out okay in the end. Now Andrew's got that website, and he's got another website that even interested me more. Now if you've got an old machine, say like from the 50s and on back then they didn't use the same designations for oils that we use today. So Andrew's gone through and taken all the old oils and converted them on this chart on this website to today's modern equivalents. It's really nice. That's another labor of love. It's at www.oilviscosity.com, and Andrew's website is evolentdesigns.com. I'm not probably pronouncing that name right, but this is what it looks like. The 2 websites that he runs is down on the bottom, and he's got an app for calculating gears that go on your phone. So check it out. I'm going to put all the loot back in the bus and get some sleep. I started early this morning. I did 528 miles today. Got about 400 more to go, and this 12-day road trip will be at an end. Get home, start working on the Bridgeport again. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks again, Stan and Andrew. I had a good time while I was there.
Sometimes the wrong hole.
You're getting ready to cut a gear.
We're going to cut a gear.
I'm told. That's what I've heard.
It looks like.
That's a cool little camera. Is that a DJI?
Yeah,
It's yours?
yeah.
I've been hearing good things about those. I don't know
Well, I
how.
heard good things about their drones, and they came out with the.
It's aluminum.
Then they came out with all the other shit they got. It's pretty cool.
They're putting a ban on them now. DJI drones.
All right. I believe next we put in segment.
And there's enough room for a thread or 2.
And then the collar. Okay, well this key gets stowed.
I'm surrounded by machine nuts. They're everywhere, aren't you?
Yeah.
Even over there, there's one hiding.
And doesn't that spring go?
They had that to fit it.
Where's my 33?
See?
They had a kit of mandrels here.
38. What was it? 38?
There's 38.
Yes, you want to put it right.
Hi. What are you doing?
Playing?
Oh, did you scrape that?
Oh, no, I did not.
Are you stealing it?
No, I'm not.
Why not? What's wrong with you? Well, they started on the is that the one? Is that? Is this one Clark's casting? Did y'all mill it? Joe's. Joe's? Y'all didn't do the one for Clark yet. No, this one. It's Clark's new casting. What have y'all been doing over here?
Talking about politics, I guess.
I gotta get back to my gear cutting class. He tells me nobody's ever been killed at gear school
No, sir.
yet.
Yeah. All right, so we're back to.
So are you guys are zeroing on the top or on the side here?
On the
Move that thing. I think this is it.
right on the tip and kind of in the middle of the gear, and then I'm moving the tails.
so you scribe a line on it.
It will scribe a line. We don't want to scribe much of one. There we go.
Something like that.
Yeah, bring it in on the side. Yeah.
You're within a
I'd say
thousandth.
we're within a thousand.
Yeah.
So now we go 0.0886, but we got to take it off the tooth, right? So we don't want to just plunge in with it. So I'm going to come this way.
This will be your gear.
Yeah, this is your gear. You get to cut this first space, and then dial it to the rec. You need to cut 2 teeth spaces. 2 teeth. So what we're going to do is go ahead and move this one. We'll look up here. We'll tell you if you're going the right way. We want 0886.
08.
Okay, go the other way. That's minus. We want plus. All right, now I'm not familiar with this mill that much, but we can dial that number in, but we want to lock it as well. And I don't remember whether it's this one or this one.
That's the table. It's over here. This one locks the table.
There should
Okay.
be 2.
But I just want you guys to notice when he locked it, it went to 890.
So slop was taken out of
Yeah,
it.
so unlock it real quick.
4,000.
Yeah. So it was 886 and he went to something like that. So go to 88,
882, I think.
something like that. Yeah.
7.
Okay. Close enough.
Close.
Very close. We're off 2/10. That's gear world. We're in gear world now.
All right.
I like it.
Euro, new term.
Gear world. Yeah.
Power on?
Yep. Let's go in the correct direction. Cutter's pretty concentric. Okay, I would say we want to go slow while we're doing this.
I'll bring it in.
Okay, wait.
Safety glasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little slower.
I'm ready, just about ready to make contact.
Okay.
Ready? And right about there. There it is. Okay.
Aluminum's real nice and forgiving. Beautiful. That's really good. Yeah. There are definite speeds and feeds for every new machine. Yeah. And slow is always speed, but not always. So start slow. Yeah. Especially on our new setup and just a little bit. See if it's consistent. All right, perfect. Now we'll go ahead and turn it all the way off. And then I would index. But in practice by yourself, you might do it.
All right, ready to index?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. One complete turn.
Yeah.
And you should be in the hole, the last hole with the red dot.
There it is. Got it.
Is it in?
It's in.
Then
Okay.
send the sector around.
Set.
The
Yeah.
gold thing.
Ah, gotcha.
Because that keeps the 22 volt
Gotcha. Okay.
things ready.
So now, reverse direction. Feet a little faster this time.
Yeah, it's starting to look pretty like a
Okay.
bunch of gear.
All right,
Now,
who's up next?
I don't know. You are.
Index.
So I'm,
A two-tooth gear.
Yeah.
so I'm here.
Yeah, that's where you are.
So then I'm going to go one
Complete.
turn,
All the way around.
Complete. Keep going.
One complete
one
turn.
turn,
Okay.
and then over to here.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm going to move the sector around.
Is it in the hole?
It's in the hole.
Okay, yeah. And then move the sector around. Don't push on that side.
Push on the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you, we're going
Reverse
full-
direction.
Reverse.
Yeah, to the right. Okay. We got it from here.
know, for something like this,
Works wonderful.
yeah.
It's 4K.
I've seen those, they're amazing.
You gotta be attacked by a giant hose. Okay.
I'm better from up here, like with my face.
Okay, very good. I like it. This is the approved method of Steve Watkins at Work sticker placement.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where they're supposed to go. Sorry.
You got the Kirkland brand.
Anything new?
Until we went from 7
See if there's anything I can't live without.
How about a Beverly Shed? You need a Beverly.
Oh.
It's a B3.
I know.
It needs a home.
I like things that plug in. You know?
I could put an electrical cord on it.
You're so kind. Always looking out for me. Thank you so much.
We dance around the bench.
There's a little bit of everything around here. You know
a
it?
little bit of stuff, yeah.
With pins.
You got a whole collection of slide rules over here too. You know, if you need one.
I still have mine.
Yeah, I still have one too. Oh, that's beautiful. Two of them. That yours? Could be yours. You on that?
A little bit of everything.
Yep.
Yours all look in nice shape. Clean them all up. The stuff that men invent.
No, they look for calibration, then they get dropped in black. And then they get, so when they sit in the drawer, you know that that one has never been used and it's calibrated.
I see.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
What are you doing here?
So, I make this torque wrench adapter system, so that way you can tighten ER32 or any ER collet to factory specification.
Cool.
So that way you don't damage the collets and it doesn't over compress the collet inside of it.
You don't fly off and go boom.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool idea. So I looked at buying something like this about a year ago, and you had to buy a custom torque wrench adapter or custom torque wrench, which was like $300 or $400, and then you had to buy the individual heads. All I wanted was just the adapter. So I set out and I designed and developed these adapters here.
Okay.
First started off with the ER32 and the ER40, and then made these other three sizes you see here.
And so this is what you're showing us
Yeah.
to test with?
Yep.
So the only thing you're really selling are these adapters.
Correct.
Cool.
So
You got different sizes and shapes.
yeah, and the cool thing
ER40s.
so normally you'd have to do some math to figure this out, because if you put it at 90 degrees right here, which is kind of the typical idea, is you put it at 90 degrees and it should be the same thing. It's not really, because this is the where it pivots, not over here. So this is actually already an adapter attached to your torque wrench.
Okay.
So you're extending it. So what you really want to do is run it with it extended, and then do the math for this piece, which adds to this one, and then so on and so forth.
So it's straight line then,
Yeah.
after it goes into tension.
And what you just saw me do right there, if you try to grab it right here and pull, it would bind. So we added this little end here so you can actually just pull
Sort
it
of
off.
an outrigger.
Yeah, it's a little pull tab. It's a pretty
Yeah.
neat idea. So you can scan the QR code here, and what that does is it brings up an app, which we'll go ahead and use our handy dandy phone. And what that does is the application here will let you add your torque wrench, and then it will give you a table where it has the recommended torque, standard torque for that size, and it tells you the adjusted torque.
Cool.
So that way you know if you do 26.9 pounds, you're going to get very close to 30 pounds. Now, the one thing about torque wrenches is that they all have a little bit of fluctuation in them, so you want to periodically calibrate them. With these custom torque wrenches that you would normally pay a lot of money for, you might have to send it to the factory to get recalibrated, because you wouldn't be able to slap it onto a system. Here, we have these calibration nuts. We're not quite selling them yet, but the idea is when we do sell them, you can use a standard calibration tool like this. You'd be able to calibrate your torque wrench, and then if you really wanted to verify that everything worked perfectly,
Put your adapter into the...
exactly, you can put your
so you
adapter
can do
in,
both.
and then you can check it.
Are they in before Josh?
Then you'd be able to check it and make sure that
Your
if you were
values
shooting-
come out to what you think they should be.
Yeah, and if you want,
Excellent.
we can give you a quick little demo of that.
Okay.
The only problem is the setup is a little moves a bit, so
Well,
we're
it's
just
on
gonna
a
use-
table.
Yeah, it's got a sticky pad on it, but it still doesn't
You're
really
doing
help.
what you can in
Exactly.
the field.
So all of these have the same distance from center, so we can actually use the ER32 here to do our calibration test, even though we're doing our test with the ER16, because it's the same distance from center. If you do that,
Okay.
it's actually like that. So we'll just go here, turn the torque wrench on. We're shooting for 26.9 foot-pounds. So we'll just squeeze that up to...
Okay.
Went a little over. So how close did we get? Let's find out. We'll put that there. And line that up. Alright, so about 31 foot-pounds on that one. It moved a little, so...
Yeah, I saw it shift.
But yeah, that's the basic idea, is that instead of having to do all the math yourself to figure it out, you just scan the QR code. You only have to put one thing in, which is basically the length of your torque wrench. Up to the handle here.
From the center of the drive?
Yeah, from the center of the drive to the handle. You could also, if the manufacturer recommends using the line, then go ahead and use the line. I find it kind of varies between each torque wrench.
Yeah.
So
But you're getting close. Real
we're getting
close.
real close. And the main idea is that you don't have
A
someone
gorilla sitten there pulling on it,
Exactly.
damaging thing.
or you get different consistency. You get one
Yeah.
person that weighs 150 pounds doing it. You get another person, like you said, the gorilla. And this way you can just maximize the life of your collets. You make sure that things are not, you lessen the probability of something moving in your tool adapters, and you can use it on different things. Like you can have a hex collet block here.
Really?
And then
Yeah.
use it on this for your stock.
So you're...
Or even if you've got a lathe, you can get one of these MP40s for your lathe, and then you could put a boring bar in it instead of chucking up a boring bar in a free job chuck. So, you know, every little
You
bit
can do all kinds of things. And I'm going to go look at your YouTube channel.
Thank you. Yeah, we post machining rebuild content to that as well. And we also have some demos of this stuff there in addition to that.
But do you have Don?
Do I have Don?
Oh, you don't know who Don is.
I'm blanking out here. It could be the heat.
Who does it? No.
It is all Don's fault.
Well, you will know soon.
Okay.
Because I'm going to give you a card.
Well, thank you.
Then you will know who Don is.
Perfect.
You can't go to your grave without meeting Don. Okay?
Nice. Actually, I do follow your YouTube on my personal account.
And you don't know who Don is?
I have a very bad memory sometimes.
God. Sorry, Don. Well, thanks for showing me that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, no.
I've got only one tool for my CNC machine.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get back into it a little bit more, I might look one of these up for you.
Yeah, please do.
I will. It looks neat. A neat idea that you thought of out of the box.
Yeah, I wanted it for my Bridgeport, and then couldn't find it.
So what does one of these cost?
So you can buy them on Amazon.
Okay.
The retail price is $105. However, they're $95 on Amazon, and we were doing a special here for attendees of the show that we were doing $80, and I was paying for the tax.
Yeah.
Because tax is hard to figure out.
That's right. We have all different ones.
Got 5 different sizes.
16,
And we'll sign everyone.
40.
Sure, I'll do that. If it means a sale, I'll do that.
It was good to meet you.
Likewise.
Take care.
Thanks for stopping in.
Now I'm going to go find other things to take pictures of. Al. We'll take a picture of Al.
Want one?
And what do they do?
So it's the calibration I think you saw over here.
Okay.
The thing is, I'm not selling them yet because I made this batch out of aluminum.
Yeah. We'll make
And
steel.
I'm going to make it out of steel for the ones that I'm actually going to sell. The thing about the aluminum ones is they work. You can still test with them. You can use low torque values. They will still work at 100 foot-pounds. I'm just not confident that they are going to work a long time at 100 foot-pounds.
Well, that's nice that you're worrying about that.
Yeah,
A lot of people wouldn't.
We did an engineering study here, and we found out through the engineering study that the ER40 over there was good for 50,000 cycles. So
I'm not going to live that long.
Yeah, we paid an engineering team to do this, so I didn't have any hand in it. I just told them what I needed it to do, and these are the specs, and tell me what it would actually do.
Well, it's interesting to see something out of the box.
Yeah, well, thank you.
That other people can use easily.
Yeah. I want to make it as easy to use as possible.
I like it. Oh.
Is there around if there's any good?
We say Steve.
No, is there around if there's
Say
any good?
hi.
So hot enough for you here?
It's here for Good Faith Catering.
Is this going on your channel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Good job on the
Hi, channel.
Saga, guys.
Hi.
YouTube.
Who's ready for Red Raffle? I know you're full. You just wanna
I don't know
sit
what a
there
red
and
raffle
wait
is. I'm in a white raffle.
Your name.
I don't know what the heck a white raffle is either. There's all kinds of neat stuff laying
What's the
around.
color of the ticket?
Kyle is going to assist me on this one. Wow, this thing was out in the sun. It's really hot in there. Ron Curry, Ron Curry or Cuddy? You just won a drill chuck.
Yay!
3/8 drill chuck, Jacob's taper back with a wrench. Where's our cameraman? Well, how do we show this to the camera?
All kinds of stuff.
Ron Curry.
Yesterday, these tables were full.
Yeah, Dale makes deals.
I'm sorry?
Dale makes deals at the end of the show.
What do you need?
Nothing.
What do you want to carry off?
Steve, what do you want on
Do we
this
have a
table?
cameraman to start showing these products?
Which table?
Don't put them on that table.
The whole thing?
Well, the close one.
Kyle, right here in front. Get them on that table. Start loading up that table.
All the rusty stuff.
We can have Kyle walking over to that camera and show that camera. Is that okay? Give me a second to review something. I got it.
Believe it or not, I've got almost everything in there too.
That wasn't the question. You can have 3 or 4 of them.
And I don't need anything
And
over
these are
here
California.
either.
This isn't that junk Texan stuff.
It looks like
This is
Alan
California.
McCullough. Alan McCullough from Lemon
I'm
Grove,
leaving now.
California.
Junk television, Texas stuff. Depends. Do you have your visa?
I'll have to get one when I get.
I am authorized visa agent for Texas. I can help you out there, sir. Stencil machines.
Chad, try this. I saw him a second ago. Chad, try this. He's back there romancing a swamp cooler in the back. Chad, try this. Get away from that swamp cooler. He just wants to say, hey,
There's a lathe.
courtesy of Shar's tool. I like your little rubber stamp. I'll do like that. Put the rubber, you don't have to sign everything. Put the rubber stamp.
A Bob brother.
Alright, congratulations, Dad. Next up, tap guy. Shar's tool, you call it? Mr. Phil Taylor. Pull up, Taylor. Woo! There he is.
Something I've only seen here is these printed gauges. Read this size. It says 2024. Bar Z bash. Sort of flat. And almost machining. All kinds of stuff.
Next prize is Shar's down. So cool. Oh my God. Jen, Titus, back up. My father's sitting down. How many tickets you buy, dude?
Home management. Only that is very
Next one over here. We just switch sides.
How do you think those would work on my planer? Hmm?
Change the name of the YouTube channel. You can change the name of the channel. What can we expect? Actually, a video or something from me? God.
Those are tempting. The beast might like something like that.
I'd say it's close to 5. Feels like 5. I remember that. That was a review show.
All kinds of stuff. It's all I can look at right now.